Hi Year 12. So this video is made to help you with your last changing places cat. So I'm going to bring up the cat questions on the screen in just a second, and then I'll talk through how you might go about answering them. So the first question, which is a 4-mark question, asks you to outline how governments can influence place meaning. So the key thing here is that you consider that there are a number of ways in which governments can do that. It might be worth considering things like campaigns, which might be government funded, for example, which try to influence the way that people attach meaning to places, but also it might be more local in scale. It might be local government as opposed to national government. So think about examples that you have of where local governments or local councils have attempted to change the way in which meaning is attached to place. The second question is asking you to look at two figures, 1A and 1B. They're both in relation to Kingston upon Hull, which is a city within Yorkshire and Humber. And the first figure, 1A, shows the change in population from the 1800s right through to 2000 and beyond. And then figure 1B shows the percentage of people that are employed within different types of industry. And having studied those figures, the question then asks you to use both of them to analyse the economic and demographic changes. Now, the key things here are within analysis, what you need to be really conscious of is using data. So when it comes to both of the graphs, it's really important that when you're describing any changes, for example, that you're using numbers, and wherever possible, as well as using numbers, you're manipulating them. So rather than just saying the population has increased from this to this, but actually using perhaps percentages or talking about the population doubling or tripling within a certain time frame. The question also makes it really clear that you should be analysing both economic and demographic changes. So actually the second graph really gives you quite a lot of detail about the economy. The first is of course population change, so it's very much demographic. Within an analysis question, I'd expect you also to be trying to make some kind of links between the figures. So see if you can have a go at doing that. The last question is based around figure 4, which is an article about Bristol written in the Sunday Times. And it's a really positive article. It's talking about congratulating Bristol on the fact that it's, you know, a really diverse, prestigious and culturally exciting city. At the end, it says what the locals say, Brunel to Banksy, welcome to the new revolution, and why we love it, it's cool, classy and supremely creative. The question then asks you for 6 marks to use the figure and analyse the extent to which endogenous factors are responsible for Bristol being named as the best place to live in the UK. There are a few things to note here. The first is when the question says using figure 4, similarly to the previous questions, it's really important that you actually use it. And by that it means don't just read it and then write your answer, but actually take things from it, whether it be facts and figures that are written in the article or indeed small quotes from it to help you answer the question. The other really crucial thing here is it's asking you to analyse the extent to which endogenous factors are responsible. So actually in your answer, you're going to have to include some kind of balance. Actually, to some extent, endogenous factors are responsible. Don't forget, those are the ones that are factors within the place itself. So they are responsible for being for Bristol being named as the best place to live. You know, there's quite a lot of examples such as the food and drink, the people that live there. And the green spaces that exist, for example. But actually, you've also got to question to what extent, in particular, these changes to Bristol and in particular the investment in the city is also dependent on exogenous factors. Think about how money and investment may have been a kind of prerequisite for some of these changes to the city that have made it so utterly successful, at least in the article's mind. Hopefully that helps. Good luck with this week's CAT. Don't forget just to contact your teacher if you have any specific questions.